Well, good evening. Here we go. You guys are now part of an unprecedented move from the classroom to the online environment thanks to the coronavirus. But I want you to know that we're going to get through this. You have been, believe it or not, doing a lot of what online students do anyway. The only benefit was is that you got to see me 2 times a week. Well, now you won't. Well, you'll get to see me in a different way, maybe a lot of ways like this. But as we transition to the online environment, it's important that if you've never taken an online class before, it's really important that you know how it works. It sounds dumb, but you're going to have to understand that things work a little bit differently in the online environment. The biggest change is that we will move at a pace that will get us through the material. But a lot of that pace is going to have to be provided by you. You're going to have to do your reading. You're going to have to do more on your own. You can't rely on me as much. Now, I am going to post some notes. I'm going to post some outlines from time to time. And in several cases, you're going to hear me come on just like you do now and hear me talk to you about specific things. So, when you do that, then you're going to actually kind of get a pretty well-rounded online course, and we will get through this material. And it's just a matter of you guys kind of making the transition to a online student mentality. You got to do a little bit of work every day. And if you'll do that, if you'll read a little bit every day, if you'll take notes as you read a little bit every day, as you will work on your homework and do things a little bit every day, you'll find out that it's really not that hard. Okay. It's just that you have to be disciplined enough to do that. And it's a strange world we're living in right now. And I understand that it's a little bit wonky, but make some time for yourself, just like I am now. My house is kind of quiet. The you know the dogs are under my feet, and I've got a little time to myself, and so I'm talking to you guys, and that's what we're going to have to do. Speaking of talking to you guys, I am not going to be one of these teachers because I don't like it of trying to force you guys to come to a class at a specific time and Zoom me. And I just don't like that because we it's very I don't you're not in a structured environment anymore. This class has moved to online, and that means you have more flexibility. There are going to be some things that I'm going to ask you to do maybe during the week to check in with me to make sure that you're participating. I may put up a little roll call check in discussion. I may put up something where I ask you guys to tell me a little bit about a current event or something. Anyway, I will figure out some way to kind of make sure, besides you turning in your assignments, that you're participating. And all I'm doing that for is to make sure that you are actively engaged in the class. And if you are, then you're present and attendance is taken care of. But I got to make sure that you're out here doing your work. And for those guys that have already checked in, all right, I really appreciate that. And the rest of them, as they kind of come online, will start to get involved as well. But we will, like I said, we'll get through this. But I want you to be aware of some changes. I'm going to spend the next few minutes just kind of going through a couple of these things that you need to be aware of. All right, as you logged in, you've noticed the page has changed a little bit because we're now sort of in the old kind of online environment thing. So when you check in, I have a list of things for you to kind of take care of. Okay, and one of the things is this video that I'm making right now. It'll show up right here. Then so you'll be kind of hearing this as we go through it, and there are a couple of things I need you to do. Okay, do the second 8-week check-in, read the syllabus. Okay, anything I put out here, try to in red, and on the syllabus a little bit in red, kind of shows you that some of the things that have changed. Okay, make sure you still have access to the textbook. Okay, the school has been sending out a lot of updates, And so I put a couple of these up there for you to just kind of look at. One of them is this. Okay, if you need some resources about getting internet to your home, all right, then there's some resources available for you there. There are also some things that the school is doing that they're sending out emails and putting on social media about. I, if you're not, I know kids your generation aren't big fans of Facebook, okay, but if you will go in and follow the school on Facebook, they actually put up some really important information on there, and it's probably coming to your email as well. But for example, there are going to be some Wi-Fi places on school grounds where you can come and park. The police are going to be there to make sure it's a safe environment, that you have access to the school's Wi-Fi. And that's important because sometimes you have to change your passwords, and sometimes you can only do that on the school's Wi-Fi. So, for example, if I have to change my password on this laptop that you're all watching this video on, then I have to go to a school Wi-Fi to do that. And so you can go and stay in your car, maintain your social distancing, and do your work, and if you need to. So there are going to be places that are available on every campus too. So it may be more convenient for you to be at the Rankin campus or at the Jackson campus or at Vicksburg campus to do that. But that's going to be available to you. So I always harp on this, but make sure you're checking your email. Okay. And like I said, follow the school on Facebook, follow the school on Twitter or something like that so that you get those updates. Okay. Uh, Calendar assignments are changing. They will continue to change. Okay. As I kind of figure out, as I get more updates from the school, about how we're going to do testing and other things. So you're going to see some of this stuff change. Okay. Just got to be aware of that. The biggest thing is if you go and look at the syllabus, okay, and I'm gonna click there real quick. Then the syllabus will open, and I hope, and you'll see some of these things that I've changed, and I've tried to make them in red. Okay, biggest change is this: my phone number, my office phone number has changed. Because that's now a Google Voice number that will come to my cell phone, and you can text it. Okay. So if you have a question at any time, and or you have a problem, or you have an issue, if you have a technology issue, if you have a Wi-Fi issue, if you need help or assistance, okay, you need somebody to talk to, all right, text me or text that number, and I will get back to you. Okay. So you can call it, excuse me, it doesn't mean I'll answer it, but I will get back to you. Okay. And you can leave a message on it. And of course, you can still email me too. My email address is still there. Okay. So, syllabus, make sure you kind of go and take note of that. The other thing is, I want to kind of show you some of the changes that are starting to shape up. All right. I'm going to make myself a student real quick. All right. Come on. It takes a second. All right. Here we go. All right. So now you see things like you do. Okay. All right. You guys look over here. You guys know that stuff is starting to populate over here. Okay. You're going to see that the pace is going to pick up a little bit, but it's not as bad as you think because some of this you've already done. Excuse me, about 75 or 80% of you have already done this because it was assigned before spring break. Okay. So you are already kind of starting to pick back up with stuff that you actually had already done really before spring break. So you're actually a little bit ahead in some of this material, which is good for you guys. Okay. But these dates are going to start to change a little bit. Okay. And you just kind of got to be aware of that. Okay. In an online environment, turning your stuff in on time is a big deal. Okay. So I need you guys to sort of pledge to me and yourselves that you will get this stuff in on time, and that is the secret to online. If you will do your work and do it on time and submit it on time, chances of you doing decently in an online class go way up. Okay, so because your homework's a big deal. The uh, the other thing is we run through modules. Okay, I already told you to make sure that you go and check that you still have access to the textbook. But if you go and click on modules, okay, you guys will see that I have gone in and I've actually turned off a lot of the stuff that you did before the break. Okay, so this stuff is stuff like chapter 5 is stuff that you really, most of you, almost all of you, turned in before the break. So if you didn't turn it in, now is the time to go and do that. We've already talked about the Republic, and we talked about that in class. So we're actually somewhere right here in about chapter 6, really towards the beginning of chapter 6, and so we're going to run through chapter 6 and chapter 7 pretty quickly, and then we'll have a test on Rome. All right. And we'll figure out how to do that yet. They still haven't given us some guidance about how to do that, but we're going to do that. We're going to kind of figure that out. Okay. Oh, excuse me. Now, for every one of these chapters, probably with the exception of this one, because you already heard me talk to you in class about this one. So you guys should all have notes about this one. But when we kind of get into some of this other material, you're going to see me put up a little page right here. There's the PowerPoint for the chapter. Then you're going to see this little thing right up here. And if you'll click in it, basically it's the outline of the chapter that really the publisher provided. Sometimes I'm going to put up the outline. Sometimes I'm going to put up notes, okay, about the stuff that we would talk about in class, okay. The videos that I'm going to make that are these little mini lectures, like the one you're doing right now, are going to show up in these as well. This is where they're going to be. Okay, so as you click into these things, you'll see the videos and you'll see the information. You need to read that chapter and then go and do that assignment. All right, so let's take a quick look back. Okay, you guys, as you start to wake up tomorrow, you start to get involved in this class, you get on this home page, you guys make sure that you read this material, that you participate in this stuff. You go over and you get into modules and you start making sure that you've done your homework for chapter 5, that you have that you're reading chapter 6, okay, which is basically where we would have started when we would have come back from the break. So we're going to run through chapter 6 and chapter 7 pretty quickly this week and next week, and we'll take that test. And the next thing we'll be heading towards the Byzantine Empire and then Islam. Okay. I'm glad to have you guys back. Okay. It's a strange world we're living in now. And I know it's sappy, but, I really do miss you guys. And it's going to be different for you guys. And it's a real opportunity, though. Okay. In a couple of years, you make it through this class, you work hard, you get done. 5 or 10 years from now, you'll be telling your kids, look, we my generation always heard it from the older generation about walking uphill to school barefoot, both ways, whatever. You're going to be telling your kids that you went to school through a global pandemic. Okay. So it's going to be tough. It's going to be difficult because you're being asked to do something that no one's ever done before. Take some pride in that. Okay. And like I said, if you will sit down and devote some time every day to do your reading, take some notes as you read about the important stuff, and you'll be surprised how well you kind of get back into the groove. Okay. And I'll be here to kind of poke and prod you along as well. All right. More from me later. Okay. Good luck. Get to work. And I'll see you guys in a day or two with another